When it comes to the Thornton Hall side, we've heard other plans for that the government has been talking about for years, including potentially using it to construct a prison. That's been going back decades and nothing has really moved on that. And now we hear that the newest plan is to potentially create an asylum centre there. Do you think that that's an appropriate use of the site, or is there something else that you would rather see done with it?
Well, I suppose, if again, to try and deal with the facts, a strategic housing development was refused there. One of the main reasons was a lack of water infrastructure. It's also directly in a flight path now. Surprisingly, this evening we've no flights directly over us, but flight numbers are increasing. The decibel is in or around 65 to 75 decibels, and the altitude of the flight, they're effectively flying a route that doesn't have planning permission. And then it's proposed to put people in tented accommodation directly under those flight paths without, to the best of my knowledge, because I'm not getting replies, but to the best of my knowledge, no water supply and no wastewater provision. Now, I know that can all be supplied from different portaloos, etc. But I've also asked for the environmental health plan. So information is just very, very scarce.
Obviously, this is one specific issue happening in one specific part of the country, but we've seen many stories like this developing all over the place. Kinnegad, even, every different county and corner of the island seems to have a very similar story with the same sorts of issues coming up. What are your feelings on the immigration issue overall that we've seen and our handling of it as a country?
I think, first of all, treating people as mushrooms, if we're serious about community integration, well, first of all, establish who is in genuine need of asylum, who is in genuine need of protection. Then the links with the communities where it's proposed to integrate them. Those links and that communication is sadly lacking. And that's a repetitive story all over the country, location by location. The communities are not being updated. And that's not fair. That's not fair to people who are in fear, who don't know where they're moving to, don't know where they're going to be settling. And it's not fair to the community that's meant to be. We're supposed to be the country of Céad Míle Fáilte, and we are we're an extremely generous people, but we don't deserve to be kept in the dark.
Do you think that's the extent of people's concerns? Because some of the people at the meeting there were saying things like, we just need to reduce the amount of people coming all together. It's already too much. Do you think there's an element of that going on as well?
I think there is, because I think people feel that they will probably be competing with people coming in, that they'll be competing for access to a GP. They'll be competing for access to a hospital, to A&E. They'll be competing for social housing. They will be competing for a HAP, for a housing assistance payment to be authorised. So when people feel that they're competing, then they will be anxious. In the absence of information, they will be afraid. They may get frustrated. And the last thing we need is for all of those emotions to culminate in anger. That doesn't serve anybody well.